Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's a Wonderful Life is one of the greatest movies. It is also considered one of the greatest holiday movies of all time. It has become a holiday tradition, much like A Christmas Story and other classics. Directed by Frank Capra and starring James Stewart and Donna Reed, it initially faced challenges at the box office in 1946. Despite criticism, it has since evolved into a beloved Christmas classic worldwide. The story begins with George Bailey contemplating suicide, but divine intervention sends Clarence, an angel, to help.
That man will be thinking seriously of throwing away God's greatest gift.
The film cleverly guides us through George's childhood and life. As a child in Bedford Falls, George saves his brother Harry from falling through the ice, but loses his hearing in one ear due to an ear infection. George dreams of becoming an architect growing up and yearns to travel around the world. However, his father's death compels him to save the family loan business. Unfortunately, his dreams are repeatedly shattered. Eventually, George marries his childhood sweetheart and plans a honeymoon, but his plans are once again thwarted as the business faces a crisis, forcing him to sacrifice his money. As friends depart, his brother achieves status as a war hero, while George remains at Bedford Falls. The first 90 minutes introduces George's life before the main story. On Christmas Eve, George's uncle loses the company's money, and George, in a desperate move, seeks help from Mr. Potter, George's old enemy. However, Mr. Potter declines the help.
I'm going to swear out a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriation of funds, manipulation, malfeasance.
George prays for help, and he keeps getting hit. Realizing he is trapped in a life he never wanted, and contemplates suicide. On a bridge with plans to jump into the water below, George finds himself interrupted when a mysterious man takes the jump instead, compelling George to rescue him. This enigmatic stranger unveils himself as Clarence, George's guardian angel dispatched to aid him. Upon George expressing a fervent desire to have never been born, Clarence grants this wish. In an alternate reality, George sees the profound impact he had on the world.
Hey, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
He prays to return, acknowledging and accepting any consequences. This highlights George's realization of the significance of his influence in the world. It emphasizes that the essence of one's life lies not solely in the circumstances one experiences, but in the lasting impact made on others.
George. Bert, do you know me?
Know you? You kidding? I've been looking all over town trying to find you. I saw your car piled into that tree down there, and I thought maybe you... Hey, your mouth's bleeding. Are you sure you're all right?
What you... My mouth's bleeding, Bert! My mouth's bleeding! Zuzu's pedals! Zuzu... There they are!
When George is brought back to the real world, he undergoes a transformative change, regaining his happiness. In a heartening turn of events, friends and family surprise him with support in his time of need, echoing the help and support he generously provided to others earlier in the film.
To my big brother George, the richest man in town.
The heartwarming ending, well earned for George, conveys the message that every life, despite struggles, has immeasurable value. It uplifts and highlights the power of friendship, sacrifice, and the goodness of humanity.